thank everyone for joining the webinar today. It's going to be a 30-minute webinar, relatively short. We'll be covering off what everyone's here to see is the calendar link. We'll also be towards after the sharing the calendar link, we'll also have a link that we'll be sharing for any early adapters that want to see it before it's released. But I will stop at that point and we'll share that link and talk about it briefly. My name is Carl Chase. I've been lucky enough to work at Dovico Software for the better part of 2 decades. Last week, I was sitting down with a colleague and we were talking about this calendar web event. And we were just saying how back in 2019, we had an app that, did this calendar kind of event that put a time entry into our system through a calendar event. But at the time when I was demonstrating it, I could tell when I had the opportunity to show it that people weren't gravitating to it. Now, looking back in the conversation that me and my colleague had was what changed? And obviously what changed is the way we work. And the way we work changed because we started working from home. We started having hybrid. And then we adopted new tools that we carried forward with us, like Teams, like Google Meets, like Zoom, which we are all on here today through a calendar event. So it just made sense to move in this direction where we could show or in this direction to populate and make it easier to use our tool. So without any further ado, I will share my screen here and I'll show you the new tool and we can discuss it, and then I will discuss the benefits of the tool and and other things related to it. So just to give you an idea, I'm sure you're all familiar with the timesheet that I'm showing, and if not, um, this is your assignments, which you always have. And you normally pick a project and a task and add to your timesheet. Now, this is much quicker because now we will give you instructions to locate this, but you just copy a link out of your settings, either from Outlook or from um, Gmail. And also, I just found out recently that iCalendly will also be available too. So your iPhone calendar, you could also plug it in here. Now, when you do get that link, you simply come under settings. And at the bottom, we allow you to paste the link in here. And after the links are pasted, you could have more than one link. You could have your Gmail, your Outlook, you'd have all your calendars linked if you'd like, or you could just have the one which I have at the moment. Now, if I hit apply, it takes that into effect, and now they're connected. And all I have to do is to come in here and go add to my calendar event. And once I click it, it's going to bring my calendar events into view where I can pick the ones that are necessary that I want on my timesheet. Now, I do know, like, oh, it will save time, it will be more accurate, but yes, we do understand that it won't fill your entire timesheet. You'll have to spend some time, either correcting it or potentially adding new records, but it will give you reference points and allow you to not forget things, kind of jog your memory and fill in more accurate time entries. Now, that's important to you as a user, but even myself as a salesperson, most of my events come in through Calendly events or I'm accepting meetings. So I would come in here and I would pick, the ones that are important that I want to send over to Dovico Timesheet. And I would say, these are the projects that I want this product planning session on Monday the 5th, 1 hour. I want it to be associated to a new prototype and to testing. And I can do the same for multiple records. And then when I'm done, I can add them to my timesheet. So the whole putting your rows over here, you don't have to do any of that. It does it for you and it puts the time in for you. Now you can just correct it, or it even puts your description of your meeting down here, which can be very helpful. Um, Not only will this help you fill in your timesheet more accurately, but it'll also help the administrators in gathering more accurate information. And also, if these records are billable, then they're not being left behind and forgotten. It just allows you to fill in the blanks a lot better and give you better results on both ends, on your end and on your administrator's side. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to explain. Like I said, it's very simple. You put the link in, you import whichever time calendar events you want into the system. You can edit them and you can even add records that you haven't necessarily didn't come from the calendar just to fill it in because it does remind you of what you're doing. Now, we will be publishing a link here for anyone who'd like to have this upon release. We are releasing this at the end of the month, uh, the end of May. And if you fill in this form, we can give it to you for 30 days for free, and we can go from there. And at this point, we can jump into any questions that anyone would have regarding this tool or yeah, so we can start there. I see, is there, let me check the chat. Thanks for joining. Does anyone have any questions regarding this tool or I see a hand up there? Go ahead.
So please can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so is this just about having meetings? What of a company that deals with just projects? It's not about meeting, they are working on projects. And so if I heard you clearly, you said we don't need to add all the assignments right there, but the link will just populate the time entry. So in a company where employees are working on projects, but they are not having meetings, and so they don't have that link to go paste for it to populate the hours they spent. Does this work for such a company? I don't know if you get my question.
Well, I may have misspoken because you do I was just trying to make the point that the job of having to fill in your timesheet by picking your assignments, the assignments are still needed. So you can
Mhm.
track your time that way as you always would. I was just making the point that you would not have to pick any of these using the calendar integration because it's going to fill in those rows for you. So it can work in both scenarios if that answers your question.
Okay.
I see another comment.
Oh, let's see here. Does it remember repeating events? It does not remember repeating events. One thing I do want to tell you about this is our first iteration of this application, and this is stepping towards doing automation and having AI into the system. And that's some of the stuff we're thinking about putting in future releases. This is just the first part of it, but coming up shortly, we will hopefully have some sort of AI or some sort of repetitious. I could pick out some of the similar things you do every week, and then you can edit it. But this is the first iteration of this piece where we are working in that direction. Any other questions regarding the Outlook integration?
Yes, I see another comment from Dan Wilson.
Okay. You know, the first thing is a free. What's the monthly cost to each user across the organization that any employee could use them? So yes, there is a cost to the application, and there will be a pricing page to reflect it, but currently I don't have it. But it will be basic, which is our lowest tier, will be $4 a user on top of each user, and then the pro version will be $2 a user on top of each. And if you're on premium, it is included in that um, tier.
Thank you. I believe that,
Laura, yeah, she
yes.
asked
Okay.
similar
Um,
question.
Martin asks, do I need it to do anything when the new calendar entries are added? How do I add these new entries to my weekly timesheet?
Well, if you just want to add regular time entries to your weekly timesheet, you can like always, you just go add to timesheet and it will add the row to the thing. Was that what you were referring to, Martin?
Was wondering more if I had, let's say I've done this integration, but next week I have another new meeting that comes up. How do I add that one to timesheet?
Oh, it's just gonna auto populate. It's gonna every week when it'll just pull your calendar in moving forward, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you, Carl.
You're welcome. Any other questions at this point?
I think Deanne had said earlier that it does remember your selections, but it doesn't necessarily do it for repeating events. But I think what you just showed, like the check mark was still on for when you open up that add to my calendar events. So that's how it kind of remembers if it was in or not, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, these are selected. But it is still in development, so if they were added, we could think about just removing them because they're already added. That'd be something we could maybe jot down or think about. Yeah, great question.
I had a question.
Hey, go ahead.
Um, in Outlook, you have meetings and you also have appointments that are on your calendar. Does it only pull in meetings?
Well, if appointments show up in your calendar, there's potential that it could be showing up. But from what my understanding at this point, it's calendar events, and I don't know the difference between meetings. I could look into it. If you want to drop your email address into the chat, I'd be happy to look into it and write you back. Or you
Okay.
could, yep. Or they could share my email address in the chat as well if you'd like to send me the question. That would work too?
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, I see one more question. Do you need admin rights to upload this onto your Dovico timesheet?
What you need to do when the time does come, well, if you're an early adopter, we're going to turn it on for you. But if you don't, you would just contact us, and it's something that we can turn on. And even in the actual application, when you buy additional licenses, you can request to turn this on yourself as well. But you can also contact us, which would work. Any other questions, concerns?
I have one more question.
Sure.
Is this like an all or nothing type thing? So if you want to turn it on for some people, it's turned on for all of your users?
You're absolutely correct about that. We don't have the method to just turn it on for specific employees, so we have to turn it on for the whole company, and everyone that uses it has to incur the additional charge.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a couple new comments.
Sure. Let me go look. I'm sorry. Time entry staff would be able to do it right. Yes, well, it's made for the time entry staff. This is the time entry staff in mind. This is to make their lives way easier, like to bring in 50% of your time rather than sit there and try to figure your time by memory or make mistakes. If you're using your calendar, most people use like our calendars are being used more than ever. And yes, it can help those employees, but it's basically for them. It's entirely for them. Would you be able to license this user for some users and not others? Would you need to buy it for all licenses or what we currently have. Currently at this moment, we would have to buy it for all. You cannot buy it for a portion. It has to be for the whole company. It is something we can discuss. You're more than welcome to go and at timesheet.dovico.com. At that website, there's a calendar link there. You're more than welcome to book a time with me through a calendar event, and we can talk about it. It's something we can talk about. But yes, currently the way we structured it, it is for the cost for the whole company, and we cannot do it individually. Yep. I just repeated myself. That's okay. Anything else?
I think it's looking good.
Good.
Oh, wait, one more question. I missed the pricing. What is the cost?
Okay. Well, there's the link, but I can say it again. It's basically $4 user for basic, $2 extra user for the pro, and it's included in the premium version. Now, I do want to thank everyone for coming today. I do encourage you to fill in the form to try it for free. The more people on it to use it and try it, it will help us. It'll get us further ahead in developing better tools that will relate to this and help the user have a better experience in tracking their time, because we know it's not the most pleasant thing to do, and we're trying to improve that one step at a time. And hopefully this is the great step in the right direction. I hope it is a great improvement. I hope, like I said, we are just on the fringe of trying to help our timesheet users, and we're looking forward to doing more.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Carl.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, everyone.
Thank you.